proud to be his friend, and I'm honored that he's in my life and in my daughter's life. And my daughter would like to say something as well.
Thank you for getting me back home to my mommy.
My name is Phyllis Frank. I met Barry Goldstein about 17 years ago when he came to get some feedback about the very first book that he had written, and ended up staying on and represented something that's really important for men in this movement, and that is Barry came with a wealth of information, but he also came with an openness and a willingness to hear feedback from women who were experiencing the very issue that he was talking about. And whenever we felt that he was going a little off course, every man should model after Barry, because he would listen, it would make sense to him, and he would change course. For that, we thank you, Barry. I also stand here as a member of the National Council of NOMAS, the National Organization for Men Against Sexism. Barry's incredible commitment to righting this wrong went so well with all of our tenets that we invited Barry to join the National Council of NOMAS and be co-chair of its task force on child custody. There was a time that I thought no one could match Jack Straighten in what he has delivered to this country in behalf of women. And Barry is now an equal partner. We are so grateful. Thank you, Barry Goldstein.
We are Kathy and Barbara Lee, and my mom is the retired director of the Westville Welfare Office, and my sole supporter since our son and grandson was stolen. I want to thank Barry Goldstein for taking us in and sheltering us when we were on a shoestring and we could not have afforded to stay in Washington without his shelter and his largesse. I want to thank you for all the books that you have written, and thank you for your sense of humor and sharing with us how the goats are doing. Because, we need that sense of humor, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Barry.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wafa Saad. I'm founder and director for non-profit organization for domestic violence and social service, WAFA organization, which is stand for my name, stand for Woman and Family Ascending Association. Actually, I got this to this field because of my education, my background. I'm from Egypt. I'm from Arabic community, Muslim community, and I see how this wonderful story with success. And one of the issues we do, I am on the board with minority concerning with the criminal judges and with family judges, and we do every year a conference with domestic violence and law day. I would like all those organization, I will send email to Dr. Hannah when I do this conference, because I would like the judges from family court and the criminal court to hear all what I heard yesterday and today. I will make it short. I would like to make two announcements. First of all, anyone has emergency housing and he cannot take any clients, I took part of my house. I did it emergency housing, so I'm taking any client does not have any place to any other shelter available or conflict with the shelter. I'm working with the state. I was talking to Eileen actually from Help Shelter with like about 2 weeks. So this is service available now. We don't charge any money now until we get approval from the state. Plus, if you go to our website, wafaorganization.org, you will see many services. We have it through our organization. I would like also to hire a grant writer. Anyone writes a grant, please, if you can contact us, that will be great. We do also workshop with FBI to have people understand the Muslim culture and the relationship between our community and ISIS. This is what I had it last week, and when Eileen actually, she contacted me too about this, and we have many other organizations from Patterson Alliance. They come attend this event. So what we do, we connect the community with the family. I will make it short. Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You did a great job. But we're looking to do more partnership with every organization here. And it was great to know your service here, and I give you our information. But thank you so much for doing a great job. We need too many people like you too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm here not for me, although I could be thanking you for myself because you've been extremely helpful to me in my health of Elsa Newman. But Elsa, I'm here to talk for Elsa because Barry has been hugely helpful to her, listening to her on the phone, writing for her, and indeed writing a section in the Quincy Solution about Elsa's case and the way it's been so badly treated, how she's been so badly treated. I thank you for Elsa. I thank you for myself.
My name is Elizabeth. I'm a victim of a terrible child custody battle in New York, 14 years with a narcissist who obtained custody 8 years ago. We've been wiped out financially and struggling throughout these years of being abused by the court and their manipulation of us. And I came to Washington to try to get a bill passed. I have the child custody reform bill pending in New York. We need support for that, and trying to get federal oversight and state and city oversight of the courts. I just wanted to thank Barry for doing the Safe Child Act and for advocating so strongly for that bill and for writing the Quincy Solution, and for coming to Washington with us so many times to fight in our struggles to get justice in the court system finally. And we so appreciate Barry's efforts to go in and see legislators with us for several years and sit down with them and talking with Andrew and Connie with the Protective Mothers. And so many of you were there, and I just want to thank you, and I hope we can collaborate together and work in New York and fight throughout our states and keep in touch to try to finally get justice for all of us, to get our children back. Thanks.
My name is Rhonda, and I come from the Pacific Northwest, and you may have heard of Julia Butterfly Hill, who sat in an old growth redwood to protect it, and she named it Luna. She ended up staying there for 2 years. I got something in this you could see on YouTube and stories. You can see Julia Butterfly Hill on YouTube, sitting in that tree as the storms rage around her and holding on, and that courage. And she says when we find our mission in life, it's like, you know, you find your tree, go find your tree, and you'll have the gifts you need for that calling. And so I feel like Barry is like our Julia Butterfly Hill, who is willing to give up everything, face a lot of personal risks, show incredible courage, and inspire us all to find our tree. I can't forget Washington, D.C. and hearing you in, you know, these rooms where, frankly, you need somebody wearing a suit, and because that's how they're all dressed there, right? And just giving us the courage to tell our stories, being such an incredible advocate. My son was proud of me that I had been able to step into a circle of colleagues that included such courageous people. And our lives and our work live on long after us, and pioneers in this movement, your work will continue. And I want to give Barry the only CD that's actually gone out, my son's demo CD of his music, because our voices do live on. So thank you, Barry.
I'd like to say thank you to Barry Goldstein for the gamut of his work, from the White House roundtables before the Office of Violence Against Women to the individual mothers in Facebook that cannot begin to articulate the issues, we can't reframe the issues because we can't articulate it in the first place. So for his books, you know, help us begin to think through the issues and articulate the issues and then reframe the issues. And then like on the last conference, we had Joan Zorza, who received a Lifetime Achievement Award for her writing of the original VAWA. And I'd like to thank Barry Goldstein as well for his rewriting of the VAWA 1301. These laws affect millions of women that will never know your name. Just like if you go to court and say to a woman judge, I'm quoting Joan Zorza, well, who's that? Well, why doesn't she know you're a woman judge? But it's the same thing from the gamut, from the White House to the Facebook page. Thank you, Barry Goldstein.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sharon Goldstein, and I am Barry's wife. So I get to see day in and day out just how hard Barry works for this cause, his belief, his passion. But more important, I think that really what touches my heart is not only his passion for the work and his incredible knowledge in this field, but it's his compassion for each and every case he helps along the way. And it is really a joy and a privilege to be along this ride with you. Thank you.
Aloha everyone, I'm Dara Carlin from Hawaii. Barry's been in my life so long, I forget how many years I've already known you, but I can't imagine my life without him. He's been an incredible friend, he's been a mentor, he's been a guiding light in a world so full of darkness, and if you ever had any doubt that guardian angels exist on this earth, proof positive, everybody. Okay, he's been such a blessing. We are so blessed to have him many more years, and I'm so honored and so happy to know you and to be able to call you friend.
One more by telephone, Barry. It's Billy Goatstein, I believe you know him. He says he's delighted you got an award and he's sure it'll be very tasty.
Thank you, everybody, for this award. You know, I get a lot of praise, but as a woman, I couldn't do it without. And that's my wife, Dr. Sharon Goldstein. You know, when I met Sharon, I had a draft of my first book, but it wasn't until we were together and we were about to be married that the book actually came to fruition. And in terms of the movement, that was really important because publishing the book, that's how I met Mother, or I wouldn't be here. And thank you, Mo, just for everything. And about 6 years ago, I was at another conference, and it was right after the retaliation against my license for exposing an abusive judge. And at the time, I didn't know what would happen, whether I would survive, whether I would continue on. And again, it was the love and support of Sharon that allowed me to keep doing this work. And finally, we made a motion to ask the court to correct their errors based on the research from the U.S. Department of Justice and the Legislative Committee in Dutchess County, which demonstrated unquestionably that the court had gotten it wrong, and they denied it without dealing with the merits. And Connie Valentine summed it up really well. She said, "Now you're a woman." And what she meant was that I had received women's justice. And, you know, I think that's important. Not long ago, I was doing a presentation at Sharon's school, and Sharon was helping me with the PowerPoint, and one of the slides said, "Becoming a woman." And Sharon was a little bit concerned about that, but that was the story. And I just wanted to mention one other story as part of that. While I was involved in that case, Sharon and I were in Savannah, Georgia, and we went to a theater to see a show. And a couple of rows in front of us, there was a mother with 2 children, about the ages of the children in the shocking case. And I was in tears. Because the shocking children did not have that. And you know, what really gets me about this work is that there are times when there's nothing you can do to save a child from being without a mother. You know, there are horrible illnesses and accidents, murders. But in the cases that we're dealing with, all the judge has to do is sign a piece of paper, and the child can get back to a good life. And I think that's what's so exciting about the Quincy Solution and the Safe Child Act. Because if you think about it, the Quincy Solution and the Safe Child Act, it's going to reduce cancer and heart disease and suicide and accidents and all sorts of tragedies. And the Safe Child Act is going to prevent the courts from taking children from safe, protective mothers. And that's what we're here for. And I just appreciate your support and help, and I hope you will help us make the Quincy solution and the Safe Child Act the reality it needs to be. Thank you.
We hereby close the 11th Battered Mothers Custody Conference. Thank you for coming, and please take those extra sandwiches home. We paid for them. They're out in the lobby. Take them. Have a good trip. See you next time.
Something